The story begins in a prison mechanic shop where a man was peacefully doing his work. Looking towards the camera, he says, "This is my story. 1947, La Sante Prison, Paris." There is a strange calm in his eyes and a hidden strength inside. The story goes back to a ward in the same prison where a new prisoner named Claude arrived. He was brought before the warden. He had a lighter with a gold plate which he had hidden nearby. The warden asked him, "Do you know lighters are not allowed here?" Claude calmly replied, "It doesn't work. There's no gas inside it either. I just have an attachment to it. That's why I kept it with me." But the warden refused, saying, "You'll get it when you leave the prison. For now, it will stay with us." After this, Claude was shifted to another barrack where 4 other prisoners were already staying. As soon as he went inside, a prisoner named Minu angrily said to the guard, "There are already 4 people here, now there will be 5. The guard shouted back, Yes, you are 5 and he will stay here." "There are orders from above. It's not up to me," said the guard and left. Claude realized that his welcome wasn't very warm, so he quietly said, "I didn't come here by choice. My old cell is being fixed." He was speaking very gently, so the tension in the cell eased a bit. One by one, everyone introduced themselves. First was Vaseline, then Roland, and finally Gio. Gio started asking Claude strange questions. "Yo, do you have a wife? Do you love her?" Claude replied with a slight smile, "I have a wife, but I love someone else." Hearing this, everyone smiled. After such a conversation, the atmosphere there became completely normal. Just then, a guard came with a cardboard sheet. The prisoners had to make cardboard boxes from them. Minu quickly spread an old cloth under the sheet and everyone got to work. The food from the kitchen had also arrived. Everyone sat down and started eating together. Just then, a guard came and told Claude that his parcel had arrived. Now Claude went to collect his parcel. As soon as he left, the other 4 in the cell started talking about him. Everyone liked Claude, but no one trusted him. Actually, they were all planning to escape from the jail and were considering whether to include Claude with them or not. On the other hand, Claude's parcel only contained some food items, but still, every single item was thoroughly checked, and until each item was cleared, his belongings were not returned to him. As soon as Claude returned to the cell, he felt that something had changed. Everyone was keeping a bit of distance from him. Claude asked, "Is everything okay?" Minu directly questioned him, "Why are you here?" Claude replied, "I committed murder. I lived with my wife and her younger sister Nicole. One day, my wife started shooting at me. I tried to snatch the gun from her, but accidentally the gun went off and hit her directly on the shoulder. Then she accused me of trying to kill her." Hearing this, their anger surfaced. They were all surprised that a wife could do this to her husband. Gio asked, "Is your wife rich?" Claude nodded and said, "Yes, she is rich, but I don't love her anymore. I was having an affair with her younger sister Nicole." Hearing this, everyone understood why his wife tried to kill him. Then Minu asked Claude, "Do you think you can go back outside?" Claude remained silent. Just then, Roland presented his plan to him. "The 4 of us are going to escape from jail and maybe you can be a part of it too." Hearing this, Claude was surprised. Roland explained that "I have escaped 3 times before." After a bit more conversation, Claude felt how lucky he was that among all the cells, his was changed to this one. He asked when they were going to escape. Roland calmly replied, "We are waiting for the morning. Iki ifachish ichbi darai." It won't work in the dark. During the day, there was noise coming from outside the jail. The 5 of them took this noise as an opportunity for their plan. Taking advantage of this noise, the 5 of them advanced their plan. They decided that whenever such noises came from outside, they would take advantage of them to dig a hole under the cardboard boxes. After a brief conversation, everyone resumed their work. Everyone was completely normal, as if nothing unusual was happening here. At night, Vaseline and Claude were sitting together talking about life. Vaseline asked Claude about his personal life. Claude said that his childhood was quite difficult. His mother passed away when he was just a small child, and 5 years later, I lost my father in a car accident. Since then, he was raised by his grandmother. Talking about these things, both of them fell asleep. In the morning, Roland was the first to wake up. After a while, the prison guards came and started opening the doors of all the cells so that the prisoners could be given their morning coffee. Roland served coffee to everyone in his cell. Everyone took their coffee and the normal morning began. After this, Roland took out a hidden piece of glass from the corner of the wall, which he had hidden there himself. He broke the pieces and kept a small part with him and put the rest of the pieces in the toilet seat. Just then, 2 prison guards came into the cell to conduct a search. This was their routine checkup that they did in every cell. Roland knew this was going to happen, so he hid that piece of glass in his mouth. The guards checked all his belongings and then searched the entire cell. After the search, they left. As soon as he felt that the guards had left, Roland took out the piece of glass and attached it to the brush handle to look outside from behind the cell door. He saw that the guards were standing watch outside. Then Roland said that now that the cell search was done, they could start digging again. Claude was given the task of repeatedly checking with the brush. If any guard comes near, your job is to inform. Then Roland opened a part of something like a chair, which was quite heavy iron. They were going to use that heavy piece of iron for digging. Then everyone started removing the cardboard sheets under which cloth was laid. Roland removed those tiles and Roland and Minu started digging into the floor together. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so their sound wasn't reaching any other part of the jail. After working hard for quite a while, they had dug a pit about 3 feet deep. Then they removed the soil from the pit and saw that there was a cement floor underneath. They also broke that cement slab and found an empty space below. Roland said that tonight 2 out of the 5 of us will go down this path to find a way out. They put the soil back into the pit, placed the tiles back on top and laid the cardboard sheet again. Now the place looked completely normal. At night, everyone made dummies out of blankets and cardboard and laid them on their beds so that if a guard looked from outside, it would seem like 5 people were sleeping in the cell. Ropes were tied to the arms and legs of these dummies so they could be slightly moved by pulling. Just then, a guard came. He knocked on the cell door and started peeking inside through the peephole. Under the blanket, Gio, Vaseline and Claude waved their hands in response. The guard saw that there were 2 other people who were slightly moving under the blanket, so he moved on from there. After the guard left, Minu looked again through the brush mirror. When everything was clear, Roland unscrewed the table and took out an iron blade, which they were going to use as a cutting tool. After that, Roland and Minu went down into the pit. Below was the entire sewer system. There was an iron grill there which they cut with the cutting tool and went through it. They saw that they had reached the basement of the jail. In the basement, they found several doors. One door was leading towards the sewer system. As they were exploring, 2 policemen came into the basement. They had come to smoke cigarettes and do a routine check. Roland and Minu hid behind a pillar. The policemen looked inside for a while and then left. Roland noticed that these locks were temporary and breaking or opening them could work for them. From there, they cut a piece of an iron rod to use it like a key to open the door. After the first door, they reached the second door but found no way. At the third door, Roland unlocked it and Minu said that maybe all the locks open with the same key like in the jail so that the guards don't have to keep different keys. They opened the third door and found a small door inside with a different kind of lock on it. They cut the joint of the door with a cutting tool and removed the entire door without unlocking it. Behind that door was a sewer line. As they moved forward, they saw a large concrete wall blocking the sewer path. Roland examined the wall a bit and saw that it was quite solid. Then he scratched the wall next to it and the cement started to fall. He said this wall is not that strong. It's made of the same cement as the jail. Next time we'll bring tools, we can break it. Then both of them went back towards their cell. Just then, Claude saw from the cell door that the guards were opening and checking all the cell doors. As soon as they heard the footsteps of the guards, Claude, Vaseline and Gio became instantly alert. Lines of worry appeared on their faces. Minu and Roland immediately got out of the pit and quietly went back inside their cell. As soon as he came in, Roland immediately picked up the dummy placed over the pit and dropped it inside. Then everyone together put the tile back and covered the area with a cardboard sheet, closing it as if nothing had happened. Everyone took their places and lay down on the bed. When the guards came to check their cell, they peeked inside, but nothing seemed different. They thought everything was normal, so they moved on. After the guards left, everyone took a deep breath. After coming back up, Vaseline asked Roland what happened down there. Roland said with a slight smile. We have found a way out. We just need to make a small tunnel. Claude immediately asked, why were you guys down there for so long? To this, Roland replied irritably, do you have a watch? I didn't have one either. Didn't realize the time. Sorry. The next morning, Vaseline went for a medical checkup. There, while casually talking to the doctor, he distracted him and stole 2 glass bottles kept there. On his way back, he also put some sand from a drum into his pocket. Returning to the cell, he showed the bottles to Roland. Roland immediately understood that it was time to make a sand clock, so they made a sand timer together to know that as soon as the sand went into the lower compartment, 30 minutes had passed. Now both Roland and Meenu went back down and set the sand clock on a thin wooden strip. They both started breaking the tunnel wall together. With full planning, they decided that every 30 minutes they would come up to ensure everything in the cell remained safe. One day when Claude and Meenu were working down in the tunnel, Roland and Gio were above them. Then Gio said to Roland that he didn't want to escape from this prison with him. Roland was a bit surprised. He said, why? Are you crazy? Gio said softly, my mother, when I was caught the last time, she went into a deep shock. Her health is already poor. If I escape again, the police will go straight to her and I can't give her more stress. What will I do if that woman dies? Indi poti tat naiti in 3. Roland understood him. He had never forced anyone and today he just nodded in agreement. That night, Gio and Roland went down and started working in the tunnel. Gio kept breaking the wall. He said to Roland, I think we are very close. Their wall now seemed solid again. This filled him with enthusiasm and he started breaking it more vigorously. Suddenly, the debris from the wall fell on him. Roland immediately ran and pulled Gio out of the debris. Both were in bad shape, but they were alive. As soon as they returned to the cell, they quickly showered so that no police officer would suspect them. The next morning, everyone was shaving. Then a guard came and told Claude that someone wanted to meet him. Claude immediately went to the visiting room. There, his wife's younger sister Nicole had come to meet him. Nicole asked Claude how he was doing. Claude directly asked, are you still living with your sister? Nicole replied, yes, the house is as much mine as it is hers. We don't talk much anymore, but she still loves you. Talk to her, maybe she'll even drop your case, Claude replied in somewhat bitter words. I've already spoken to her lawyer. She has clearly said that she will not withdraw her case. Nicole gently said that maybe she just wants to punish you. By the way, I wanted to talk to you about something else. I am going to England for 1 year to learn English. By the time I return, you will have been released from jail. Claude looked into her eyes and said angrily, please don't play any games with me now. Saying this, he immediately left the visiting room. As soon as everyone was getting ready to work in the tunnel at night, some guards suddenly entered their cell. Everyone was surprised. Vaseline asked a guard, so late at night, suddenly. From behind, Roland said, seems like they don't trust us anymore. The guard said sternly, you all have a good record, but duty is duty. The guard picked up the boxes on the floor and checked them. He also removed the cardboard sheet to check. For a moment, they felt that he understood something and now escaping might be a bit difficult. But then, from the adjacent cell, another guard shouted, something seems wrong here. Seeing all this, the head guard immediately sounded the alarm and called all the guards. They immediately started searching that other cell, but nothing seemed to be found. Then they began moving towards the next cells where they were a bit more suspicious. As soon as the guards went towards the other cells, Meenu nervously said to Roland, we have to hurry now, we must not get caught. Meenu and Roland quickly went down and resumed digging the tunnel. Meenu was breaking the tunnel ahead and Roland was clearing the debris. After a while, Roland came up and Claude went down in his place. Claude also cleared the debris while Meenu continued breaking the tunnel. Finally, Meenu saw a way to the other side of the tunnel. Excitedly, he told Claude and together they broke the wall. On the other side of the wall was a new sewer system. Both of them went inside and started looking for a way out. After a while, they saw an iron lid, a manhole which opened onto the road. When they opened that cover, there was an open alley in front, right behind the jail. The jail building was clearly visible. They both immediately returned to the cell and told their companions, "We found a way. It leads to the road behind the jail." Hearing this, everyone was happy. Roland said, "Let's leave tonight then." A small lottery was drawn for the escape. Vaseline put a letter in a box and names started coming out one by one. The first name was Vaseline, the second name was Gio, the third was Meanie, the fourth was Roland, and the last was Claude. Vaseline told Claude that if you want, I can go in your place. In RNPZ. Just then, Gio said that any of you can take my place because I'm not escaping. Everyone was surprised. Claude asked, "What did he? Why?" Gio replied that I have already told Roland everything. Go. We'll talk about it while running. Everyone went completely silent. Just then, a guard came and said, "Claude, the warden has called you. Come with me." Claude put on his jacket and left. Minu asked the officer, "Where are you taking him?" The officer simply said, "You don't need to know." Hearing this, everyone understood that he was being taken to the warden, and now the fear inside everyone came out. Claude was taken and seated in front of the warden. The warden asked, "What case are you here for?" Claude said, "My wife accused me of trying to shoot her. She brought a shotgun to kill me. I tried to snatch it from her and the gun went off." The warden asked, "Why didn't your wife withdraw the charge?" Claude said in surprise, "How would I know?" The warden calmly said, "Your wife loves you. She has dropped all the charges." Hearing this, Claude was stunned. He asked happily, "So can I go?" The warden said, "Maybe. Your case will be finalized today or tomorrow. If everything goes right, you will be free." This is the happiness disappeared from his face because tonight he was supposed to escape with them. The warden sensed this trouble and asked him, "Why are you worried? You're about to be released, brother-in-law." A little later, Claude returned to the cell, but his face looked sad. He told everyone, "My wife has withdrawn the charges." Vaseline immediately said, "So that means you won't escape with us?" Claude said, "I will go with you." "Yes, my life could have been better than yours. If the case isn't dropped, I'll have to serve 5 years in jail, and if I don't reach the court, the whole case could be dismissed." Everyone relaxed a bit, but Minu was still a little suspicious. He directly asked, "You were with the warden for 2 hours. Was that all that happened?" Claude angrily said, "I considered you like friends. Are you still doubting me?" When Claude spoke like this, everyone started trusting him again. Minu also apologized to him for his questions. Night fell. Everyone was completely ready to escape. Gio was standing near the door, keeping watch. Then everyone removed the cardboard sheet. Gio peeked outside and saw everything was clear. But as soon as he pushed the glass, there was a whole group of guards on the other side. Gio immediately said, "Minu, there are guards outside." Everyone understood that their plan had failed, and the reason was Claude. Everyone's anger was directed at Claude. Claude shouted, "I didn't want this to happen." Minu pushed him, but by then, the guards had entered the cell. They separated Claude and lined everyone up. An officer peeked inside the tunnel and saw their escape route. Claude was put in another cell. On the warden's orders, the rest kept looking at him as if they wanted to take his life. He couldn't meet anyone's eyes. Without saying anything, he quietly went to the new cell.